our webinar tonight on how to get the most from your medical weight loss. Over the next 30 minutes, what we hope to cover, let's see if I can get to the next one, is we're going to be talking about a couple of the risks and challenges that carrying excess weight carries with it, right? Some of the benefits of using medications for weight loss, how to get adequate nutrition while using medications, how to preserve lean muscle mass, how to help make the results last, and benefits of pairing medications with our lifestyle program. So, my name is Donnie, and I am honored to be facilitating this webinar today. I'm actually a former pediatric nurse practitioner. And as a nurse practitioner, I ran a weight management program for kids. And part of the reason that I did that was because I was actually an overweight child. And I was put on my first diet when I was 8 years old, right around the time this picture was taken. And I remember that when my pediatrician told me that I couldn't eat, that I could only eat one slice of pizza on Pizza Friday instead of two that I was used to, I felt like I was being punished, right? When she told me that I could only drink that dirty water they called skim milk, right? Instead of the whole milk that I was used to, I felt like I was being punished. And so as a professional, I wanted to help raise healthy children that knew how to make healthy choices because of what they wanted instead of feeling like deprived, right? Now, I believe that somewhere along the line, between feeling like I was being punished at the age of 8 and feeling like I didn't necessarily have all the resources that I knew I needed as a health professional to help people, I started believing that there was a right way and a wrong way to lose weight. And that belief system almost kept me stuck. Now, this picture was actually taken after I had run a weight management program for kids. Like while I was running the weight management program, I got pregnant with twins and went on to deliver them. And after they were born, I went on to gain 50 pounds. Now, remember, I had this mindset that there was a right or wrong way to do it. I also, being a health professional, having, battled this weight thing myself for most of my life, I couldn't understand why I could know what to do, but not do what I knew. And so I beat myself up pretty badly over that. And when I was presented with a possible solution, when I was presented with the option of having help, it didn't look right to me. And I almost passed up on it. And the only reason that I decided to give it a second look and give it a second chance and maybe accept some help is because I was worried about my husband. I was worried he was going to die and he was going to leave me alone to raise these little babies by myself. When he would get in the car, he would squeeze in behind the steering wheel and wheeze. And what I knew is that weight created a lot of risks to health. The truth is that of all the deaths, 74% of them are caused by non-communicable diseases, which means chronic diseases, right? And the top four killers, three of them are associated with being overweight. Cardiovascular disease, which increases the risk of hypertension, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, stroke. These are the things that usually do people in. Diabetes, okay? Carrying excess weight makes it difficult for your body to regulate insulin and blood sugar. And once you develop the diabetes, it also cascades into complications with cardiovascular disease. And then cancer. Now, before I became a nurse practitioner, I spent 8 years as an oncology nurse. And so cancer has a special kind of hatred from me, right? Because I know what it looks like for people. And the truth is that 40% of all cancers are associated with weight. And between 2004 and 2015, we made great strides in that there was a 13% decrease in cancers outside of the ones that were associated with weight. Of the ones that were associated with being overweight, there was a 7% spike. And so the truth is that carrying excess weight is not just a cosmetic issue, it is absolutely a health issue. And that's what I was concerned about with my husband. And my husband and I were not the only ones. Okay. The truth is that about 3/4 of Americans are either overweight or obese. And between 1960 and 2018, obesity has more than tripled. And it's not just limited to adults. As I mentioned, I worked with kids. And right now, 1 in 5 kids are considered obese. Now, I knew what to do, but I wasn't doing what I knew. And I knew that it was about calories in and calories out, but it turns out that it's not just simple math. And that's why the numbers continue rising the way they have. It's not just about what you eat and how much exercise you get. It's about how we process our emotions. It's about carrying chronic stress. It's about the time and resources we have available to get the exercise and to do the planning and preparing, to do all the cooking or eating out, right? It's about environment. Certain medications that people may be on for different situations can affect how our body processes weight or releases the weight. Um, Hormonal imbalances, socioeconomic status. Bottom line is that there's so much more to the challenge than just knowing what to do and math. And because there's so many different challenges and so many different barriers, if you will, that contribute to this issue, we also need multiple different tools. Okay. Learning how to manage our emotions is essential. Having a health coach that can hold us accountable, having supportive communities, understanding what lifestyle looks like and getting educated in that, including medical providers and medications and nutritionists. Now, the whole topic of medications is a hot one currently. And that's why we wanted to come on today and talk about it because medications are one of the possible options. And because I used to think that there was a right way or a wrong way, and because I almost passed up on getting help for myself, I wanted to come on and say, you know what? There is no right or wrong way. There just is a priority of getting that weight off so that we can improve our health and stick around and enjoy our life so much more with the people that we love. And so medications are an option. And there should be no guilt associated with that if you find yourself in a situation where you're maybe considering that. And so who is today for? It's for anybody that has tried to lose weight and finds themselves frustrated with the results they have, either with achieving their results or maybe regaining their weight. Anybody that's considering taking medications or currently taking medications. Anyone that's looking for support because they understand that this journey is pretty challenging, and anyone that's actually like so frustrated with their efforts that maybe they're considering just settling. And that maybe I've heard this from so many people, and the thought has even crossed my mind before too, is maybe it's just not in the cards for me to lose the weight. And the truth is that it is in the cards. We just need to find the right tools that will help you achieve it. And this is also for any health professional that's looking for ways to provide help to your patients through lifestyle support in addition to a medication treatment regimen. So there are several benefits to using medications. Now, as I mentioned, today we're not here to try to recommend you take medications. We're just going to discuss what it looks like, what are the benefits, and what are some of the challenges so that you can mitigate risk. What I've learned is that it's not about right or wrong. It's about understanding the risks of both continuing to carrying the weight and the different modalities to get that weight off, right? And so some of the benefits of medications is that it had some, depending on the one you use, right? It has shown significant weight loss, right? From anywhere between 5 to 10%. There's different ways the medications work, which can address the different challenges that might be specific to you. Certain medications can help work on your central nervous system to lower your experience of hunger. Some can work on your digestive system to help you feel full more longer and more. Some of them will help reduce absorption of fat. There's different ways that the medications work, which make it possible to target the specific challenge you might be facing, right? Obviously, because we talked about that medication can create significant weight loss, as you lose weight, some of those health risks associated with weight will also improve. Now, obviously, today we're not here to tell you that we have the cure to anything. But if there's one thing that I have learned over the past over 20 years as both a health professional and a health coach, is that when you take care of your body, your body will take care of you. Okay. So as you lose weight, your risks for challenges, health risks, and so forth reduce. And then, of course, Using a medication, whether it be a pill or an injection, can be more convenient and can be perceived as easier than navigating the social pressures that we face at a party to eat, the social pressures that we feel at the end of the year to eat ourselves into a coma, right? Or learning to navigate the emotions. Sometimes, if you're anything like me, you've struggled with emotional eating, right? And if the emotion hits you the wrong way, then all of a sudden it feels like you have to put something in your mouth, right? And so a prescription can be easier to take. It can be perceived as more convenient, which can increase your chances of success. And as I mentioned, what our goal is to help you increase your chances of success so that you can live longer and healthier, right? So today I want to welcome Rebecca. She has a background in gynecology and menopause, and her current expertise is in weight management. She's actually currently the lead clinician at her practice in their weight management division. So, Rebecca, I'd love to have you come off of mute and join me on camera to share a little bit of your experience. Tell us a little bit about how long have you been helping people with their weight utilizing medications?
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Donnie. So I've been working with weight management medications for almost 2 years now, and it's been really interesting.
So, when was it that, or first tell me a little bit about your experience with using the medications? What are some of the challenges that your patients would come in with?
So my patients, have, as many people out there can probably attest to, have tried so many things to lose weight in terms of diet, exercise, doing, people telling them they're just lazy or whatever, which is so not true. And some of these medications can really help people. I've seen a lot of success with the medications, but there are some challenges to getting the medications, with like insurance coverage, of course.
Hmm. And so, what kind of results have you seen for those that are able to get it?
Yeah, well, it has helped a lot of my patients reach their health and weight goals, which is really exciting. Sometimes people are able to get off some of their other medications, like blood pressure medication or cholesterol medication, once they lose some of their weight, like even just 5 to 10% of their weight. That gets them so much healthier in other aspects of their life as well.
Which is why we're here, is because we want to help people improve their health, and the priorities, let's get the weight off, right? It's not about that right or wrong. It's let's get the weight off so that we can improve well-being in different areas, right? We can begin in that path. Now, you've been utilizing medications to help your patients for the past 2 years or so. When was it that you decided you wanted to incorporate lifestyle into the program you offer as well?
Yeah, so I was looking for, we were doing kind of conventional things like saying eat more protein and no more, don't eat sweets and things like that. But that's often not enough, and it's like too little, too late for some people, or it's just like they don't have the motivation, they don't have the support. So about a year ago, I started looking at different programs that could be more holistic, that could really help my patients. With that accountability piece and with like just knowing exactly what to eat when. And so that's when I found the health coaching program.
And what has your experience been since you've combined both, for those that want to utilize both?
Yeah, it's been really exciting. So I do have many patients who are on medications and have decided to do the health coaching program. And the health coaching program, of course, works without medication, but some people feel like they need that boost of the medication, or they just heard so many great things, or they want to be on it for whatever reason. So they're doing both, and it's very successful. The medication helps sometimes quiet the food noise in people's heads and makes it a little bit easier for them to not obsess over like food constantly all day long. It helps people to reach their goals in a more sustainable way. Although the medications are meant to be long-term medications, and I don't think it's ideal for anyone to be on medications for life. But I have been able to wean some people off of medications while they're doing the health coaching program at the same time so that they keep up those healthy habits for life and they're really making real sustainable changes in their lives. So it's a really good kind of partnership.
Well, I was talking about how medications are an option, and medications are an option. Lifestyle, however, is not, right? Lifestyle
Yeah.
is essential.
Yes.
And so having that lifestyle support is, across the board, whatever it is that anybody decides to use or choose to leverage to achieve their goals. The bottom line is that lifestyle is required, correct?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, you can't do anything with just medication. Your life's not going to change very much. I mean, um, it's all about healthy habits. You want to be a healthy, well person. You want to be able to sleep better and be more mobile and strong, and you don't want to have muscle wasting. So you don't want to just be on a medication alone and then just lose all your muscle mass, and then they're just like a little stick walking around. So you need to have both.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, for coming on and sharing your experience. And you actually set it up perfectly. I'm going to be bringing Dr. Smith on to talk a little bit about the challenges associated with medication. So, Dr. Smith is a physician, board certified in internal medicine, and he spent 23 years of his career as the medical director of WebMD. And then over the past 9 years, he's decided to shift his focus to more wellness and has also become a coach. Welcome, Dr. Smith.
Great to be here with you, Donnie. Appreciate you having me.
So
Oh, go
go ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, it's obvious that, from the great discussion you and Rebecca were having, how beneficial medications are. So I so appreciate what you're offering to people here, but it's important truly that we really understand the challenges, because there's a lot you can do about them, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing is really making sure that you get adequate nutrition, right? These drugs suppress your appetite. It's exactly what we want them to do. But the thing is, sometimes they almost do it a little too well because they suppress your appetite so much that your calorie intake can be quite low. Your intake of vital nutrients can be quite low, including protein, which I'll talk about here in a second that Rebecca referred to. Here's the thing, weight loss is not all about just decreasing your calories. That approach, when not done in a balanced approach, it can actually work against your weight loss efforts. And because nutrient balance is just so crucial if your goal, and I sure hope it is healthy weight loss. You're not going to feel very good if your body is not optimally nourished. And it's really a sign of healthy weight loss when you have lots of energy, mental clarity, and really just you should be feeling a lot better than you have in a long time. So if you're not feeling that way, chances are inadequate nutrition may be playing a role. So make sure that you talk to a health coach about a balanced approach to making this happen. Because the other issue is muscle wasting. It's a particularly significant possibility with some of these newer medications, the ones that are the GLP drugs, the semaglutide, Ozempics of the world. One of the biggest challenges we see is loss of muscle, which can actually happen with any type of weight loss. But there's a lot you can do, but it seems to be particularly significant with these GLP-1 drugs. In fact, research shows that with these drugs, 20 to 50% of the weight loss is muscle loss if you just do the medication, you don't take steps to turn that around. The problem here is that this can leave you really almost worse off than before, because a lot less muscle means a lot lower metabolism, which means you'll be able to eat even less to maintain your weight at that point. What does that likely mean? You're going to gain it right back. And that's what we absolutely don't want. And I know for sure that you don't want that as well. So, but remember, there's a lot you can do. You want to burn the fat, save the muscle, and you do that by making sure you get adequate, high quality lean protein. And how much you need depends on you. So again, talk to a health coach to make sure that they're customizing it to your needs. Muscle resistance exercises are crucially important. Your muscles need to stay active to stay healthy. And I also recommend the use of essential amino acids. They're a supplement that your body can use or these amino acids, your body cannot make them. You have to get them through nutrition. So, but they're particularly good at muscle synthesis, at helping you build muscle. And this way you get the benefits of the muscle building without adding in a lot of extra calories. So talk to a coach or someone about a good essential amino acid supplement. Great way to keep your muscles healthy. Let's talk a little bit about side effects. Honestly, they're really about probably two common ones I tend to see. Nausea is probably the most common, but there's really a lot you can do to minimize this as well. And that's just by doing what I hope you're learning to do anyway. Eat healthier, eat lower fat, lower sugar foods. These types of foods will naturally decrease nausea. If you're just eating, still eating higher fat, higher sugar foods, just less of it because you're not as hungry, the problem is that's going to make the nausea even worse. So, take this opportunity to, the drugs are doing their job. Now it's time for you to do the work and start learning how to eat differently and be more active. And there are a lot of habits on the side that actually play a role in your health, such as sleep and stress management. And your coach can work with you on that. Fatigue is a big one. I was talking to someone just the other day who's on the GLP drugs, and he was talking about how tired he was, and he was a member of a Facebook group of thousands of people, and fatigue was one of the biggest topics of discussion. You really should not be tired if you're losing weight in a good, healthy way. Right? And that comes from nutrition and doing it in a balanced way. Again, talk to someone if you're feeling fatigued, because that's a sign that your body is not optimally nourished. There are some rarer side effects like gastroparesis, stomach paralysis, pancreatitis. They're quite rare. They can happen. They can be life-altering, something you should be aware of, but thankfully quite rare. And to round it up, a little bit about cost. The brand name drugs, quite expensive, over $1,000 a month if your insurance doesn't pay for it. But there are a lot of other options out there. So I want to talk a little bit about, because you're seeing probably a lot of advertisements for getting these medications, compounded versions of them at a lot less. But a word of caution. Please make sure you're partnering with like board certified health professionals. So, because I'm concerned that we're seeing Medi-Spa type providers, with the neon semaglutide signs on their front door. Just be safe. You can find some really great options financially working with a health professional who will ensure that you are staying healthy and safe during your health journey, because these drugs have a lot of benefit, but you want to do them in the safe, most effective way.
Yeah, great information. Thank you so much for all of that. Now, what we've been talking about is that medications are an option, but they are optional, and lifestyle is not, right? We know that lifestyle is kind of the cornerstone. We need to learn how it is that we're going to sustain the results that we create and make sure that we get the best results. And we utilize a system that helps empower people to develop those healthy lifestyles, including the things that you were talking about, right? Dr. Smith, things like sleep and stress management, right? And so I'd love for you to share a little bit, because you've been now working with this lifestyle program. Name of the program is called Optavia. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about why you, as a physician, why is it that you recommend this program?
Well, Donnie, my passion has always been prevention and wellness. It's, why I think, because when I was a little boy, when I became a physician, I wanted to help people have a thriving new life and in the practice of medicine and primary care. Unfortunately, prior to the use of these medications, but even now, is that despite my attempts at trying to help people eat better, move more, all of the things that we know impact, I was never able to really make an impact on people's lives in the way that I felt was really making a difference, to be honest, until I found this program. To me, this program really perfectly aligned with my values of focusing on creating lifelong healthy habits. And that was really important to me. Like you had mentioned, you thought that it was a particular way you needed to lose weight. And in my mind, that weight is just simply by, focusing on the habits. But I will tell you, even though I was doing that before until I found this tool, I really just was not able to make a real lasting impact on a lot of lives. And this program simply has allowed me to do that.
Yeah. And so we've talked about, how there's multiple needs and we need multiple tools. And our program actually addresses every single one of those needs, right? So in terms of people maybe not having the time or the resources to like plan and prepare and spend all day, meal prepping and so forth, we have very simple meal plans, right? And we have the coach and we have a supportive community. Can you speak a little bit of the value of community that you think in terms of this creating results?
Absolutely. Because I think a lot of people think you said it yourself. We know what to do. So why aren't we doing it? We're missing a key piece. And I think there's a lot of pride and unfortunately a lot, some shame associated with losing weight. And so people try to do it in private and they don't surround themselves with people who will lift them up. And the unfortunate reality is a lot of us are surrounded by negative forces in our lives that don't help support us on our health journey. It is so crucial to surround yourself with a community of people working on similar goals together. It makes all of the difference. I see it time and time again. Those who engage in that level of support and accountability do far better. So just don't think you don't need people, because I can assure you, you need others that are really on the same journey as you. It will help immensely.
Well, you were talking about not doing what we know, right? And people do what people do, right? And whether you are, 13 and you're worried about peer pressure, or you are 43, right? And you're just doing what everybody else around is doing because you happen to be human. So people do what people do. And so having that supportive community of people that are health minded can set you up for success. As I mentioned, there are many different challenges that we face. And so stacking the tools in our favor works on our behalf, right? So we've got a supportive community, we've got a lifestyle educational system, we've got a virtual clinic with nutritionists and exercise physiologists, and we have medical providers. Now, obviously, we do recommend that you connect with your provider before starting any weight loss program. But as Dr. Smith was saying, people are looking for the neon signs. And through our program, we do have medical providers that are qualified to evaluate you and decide what would be the best treatment option. And so we invite you to connect with the person that invited you to explore if that's an option you want to explore, right? And then we have tools and programs that can help you preserve muscle, including, for example, the essential amino acids that Dr. Smith was talking about. So thank you so much, Dr. Smith, for sharing with us today, sharing your experience. So a couple of the benefits of combining something like medications with the program that we have with Optavia is that working with a health coach has shown to improve the consistency with which we follow through on any plan, right? Now, also working with a health coach helps address more areas than just the number on the scale. So we talked about how the emotional component is so important and the mental component, and a health coach can kind of can address those topics so that there's a more holistic approach. And then because we are focused on all of those habits of health beyond weight loss, we're able to help you be healthy beyond a number on the scale, which sometimes it's easier to lose the weight than it is to keep it off. And having that partnership with a system that works can stack the odds in your favor, which is what we've been talking about all along. So today we have talked about some of the risks and challenges that the challenge of weight pose on our health. We have talked about some of the benefits of utilizing medications because of the diverse needs and diverse challenges associated. We've talked about some of the challenges, and we've also talked about a structured system that we have in place that can help. So the question is, are you ready to start achieving some goals? We invite you to connect with the person that invited you today because they invited you because they care about you, and connect with them to let them know that you're ready to move forward and see if any of the tools apply to you. Have a good one.